and her career. She's galvanizing her energy for something. There's a new album coming out very soon, and I get April through August of next year. This album is going to be about her taking back her power. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Time. My name is Hali, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. I'm really excited to be doing this. I'm doing a Shakira update. This was recommended. I haven't done one in a while, actually. I haven't done one since like last year sometime, since her ex situation happened. So let's get into it, and yeah, please make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching and you like the video, please like the video. Thank you to all the subscribers, all the members. I love you guys so much, and thank you for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Okay, I'm using the Earth Woman Tarot. I love this tarot deck. I got it on Amazon for like $20 something, $23 I think. Well, 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, excuse me. Time flies. Okay, let's get into it. I really love the illustrations. It's funny because I create decks myself, and I'm actually have an app coming out very soon at the end of November. And it is very similar, the illustrations, but I made this 4 years ago. So it's just funny to see this illustration. You know, we like what we like, you know. So let's get into it. I pulled up her career, her love, and her well-being. And her career is 7 of Wands. So I get the strong feeling she's working on something. She's a sun in Aquarius. I'm a sun in Aquarius. It's my Aquarius sister. For some reason, I always feel like I can very strongly relate a lot to Aquarius. I can see, when I see them, I'm like, oh, I can see you. I know you, you know. And until it was for astrology, I didn't really understand myself. That's one of the great things, you know, every relationship hopefully helps you learn about yourself. And I had a relationship with the Pisces, and he was very into astrology, and we used to talk about astrology together, and it kind of gave me the liberty to be very into astrology again, because I feel like people can kind of judge it, you know, and they're like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but it makes a lot of sense. Astrology helped me understand myself. So when I see other Aquarius, I can relate, and especially with her and her career. She's galvanizing her energy for something. There's a new album coming out very soon, and I get April through August of next year. This album is going to be about her taking back her power. Something I don't agree with is her bad mouthing her ex, because that is the father of her children, and I really wish she would stop doing that. I also don't agree with her asking for privacy when she's going to publicly insult him. I think it's very hypocritical, but that's something about Aquarius that I feel like we need to grow in, is sometimes we can come across hypocritical, and sometimes we can be like know-it-alls, you know, like you can't do this but I can do it, you know, which is hypocritical. And I just get the energy that she's still hurt, she's still bitter about it, and I would encourage her to move on from that. I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story before I move on to her love. If you don't like personal stories, I'm not for you, okay? So I don't want to hear anything about this reading being about myself. I'm telling this story so that we can learn and grow. I'm giving an example. So this year has been a very healing year for me, and it's funny because the beginning of the year I was like, I really feel like I'm going to heal, and I used to go to Equinox Gym. I canceled my gym membership because I just felt like I wasn't getting anything from it. I started going back to Soul Cycle. I started going, like, taking walks. I started doing things that really healed me, and I said this is the year dedicated to purely healing. Blue is the color of healing, and I made my apartment with lots of blue. So I really was very firm on healing from the inside out. And you know, when you make that bargain with the universe, the higher being, you are thrust You are thrust with the opportunity to do with what you wanted, you know. And I was thrown into many situations where I was forced to heal. And one of them was stomach issues. I had really bad stomach issues. I ended up in hospital. And the other one was internal healing. And I realized that in relationships, I would expect the other person, whether it's friendship, whether it's family, whether it's romantic, I would expect the other person to kind of heal my inner child for me, you know. And I mean that to say, I have to cut it short because obviously we don't have that much time, and I don't want this video to be about me, but I'm just explaining why I feel like she hasn't done the work yet and what she can do as we move on to love. She counts. It's a very Aquarius thing. She counts what she's done for the other person and she uses it against them. And I had no idea I did this, even though I've been in therapy for many years, in and out. I had no idea that I did the same thing. Very Aquarius. And when I would end relationships, or I would become bitter or resentful towards the other person, I would count in my head because I did this for you, and you did nothing for me, you know. The best advice that I got from a therapist is that match energies. Not everybody likes to do things for you. Not everybody likes to call you back. Not everybody likes to blah 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 blah. Don't force them. And I think sometimes when you do it for them, it's forcing the other person to do it back when they don't have to. If the other person doesn't want to do it back, don't force them. Move on with your life, you know. And that's something I had to recently learn, especially particularly with someone, is that he would make me a lot of promises that he would do this, he would do that, and I would do a lot for him, and I got almost nothing back, which is fine. But the biggest gift I got was that I learned that I don't have to force people to do what I want them to do, to show up the way that I want them to show up, to be who I want them to be, just because I did it for them, you know. And that is what I would encourage Shakira to learn about herself, or to practice. That just because she did it for him, you know, she still has a lot of bitterness towards her ex, and I get it, trust me. But a lot of that bitterness will dissipate if she learns to accept that she did what she did for him out of her free will. Nobody was forcing her to do it. And just because she did it for him doesn't mean that he has to do it for her. It's not tit for tat, you know. And reciprocity is not forced, you know. And I think sometimes we think tit for tat is reciprocity. It's not. If the person themselves is giving, is loving, that's reciprocity. But you're not going to force somebody to do the same for you. It just doesn't work like that. So with love being Hierophant, I see very strongly that she's being very firm. I see her dating and stuff like that, but she's being very firm, like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this. But again, I would encourage her to let go of the bitterness, because this is what a lot of women, sometimes we do. It's a very feminine trait. Men do this too, but I see it a lot in women. Sometimes we can hold on to the past so that we don't forget the future, so that we don't create it again in the future and forget, you know. And this is something another therapist told me. Trust yourself enough to know that you've learned what you needed to learn, and you don't have to hold on to the bitterness to do it, you know. And that's what I see. I see bitterness. I still see a lot of bitterness, and it's normal. Trust me, I've been bitter. I've been bitter. We all have. But it's not going to get you anywhere, you know. And anger has its place. Bitterness has its place. But when it's stopping you from reaping benefits and blessings that you deserve, that's when it's a problem. So with her well-being, Nine of Wands, I see her recognizing this. I do see her recognizing it. I do see it. Wow, I'm very proud of her recognizing it. And leaning on her friend, Six of Cups, for help. I would encourage her to get into therapy, some kind of healing system, because especially when you have to see the person. That's why I waited to have kids, because I could not imagine seeing somebody that I broke up with and still having kids with them. Like, it takes a higher being, a really higher being, to not have bitterness and resentment. And you know, I was watching this great YouTube channel, and the gist of it, not to go too much, was that she was talking about what's his name, Joshua Jackson, oh my gosh, I have such a crush on him, and Jodie Turner, his ex-wife, and Jodie Turner speaking on him dating Lupita Nyong'o. And she said, I'm happy for him because he has to be the happiest version of himself for us to co-parent. And I thought, wow, that's it. She gets it. You know, if she really lives it, because sometimes people like to say that they do, but they don't. But if she really lives it, if you're co-parenting with somebody, let the ego go, you know? And that's something, Aquarius, I'm telling you, we often struggle with that. We struggle with letting what we did for people in the past go. And trust me, I have struggled with it. So with Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Star, which is our card, she's going to come to her senses. And she's going to let it go. And she's going to write a song about it. She's going to write a song about it. Even maybe a book. I see maybe even a book. And just forgiveness, you know. And people always want to say, well, forgiveness, the person can't get away. And my biggest gift, I was actually, you know, I feel like a lot of lessons I've learned have been Capricorns in my life. I don't know why. But I was in a relationship a long time ago with a Capricorn. He taught me forgiveness. Because I used to be so resentful towards him. I would, you know, and granted, he was not the perfect partner. I was not the perfect partner. We were not a good match. But something that he taught me was that I cannot hold on to resentment and still be a happy person. It just doesn't work like that, you know. And I remember listening to a song, just like hearing what he said to me. I used to talk, oh my God, I used to talk about him all the time because I was so angry at him all the time. And the biggest gift he taught me was that I have to forgive. And I forgive for me. I forgive for my future. I don't forgive for him. He is separate to me. And she will understand that lesson, which is very powerful. And I think more people need to understand that. So that's what I have for you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Take care.